What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create Tombstone using the in-game Customiser. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so Tombstone is a pretty easy character to make, and the great thing is you also don't need any DLC pieces to make this character, which is really cool. So anyway, let's get started. So first off, let's start with the head. Now the head that I went with, I went through looking for a few different heads to see which one fit Tombstone the best, and personally, I think Vulture Classics fits the best. Now he has the white eyebrows there, but if you turn his skin white, they're pretty much invisible, and it looks really good when you put the hairstyle on in a minute, which we will be doing. So I think that head is pretty good. I think that's probably the best you can do, at least now. Who knows? Maybe one of the DLC pieces will make a better Tombstone head, but for now, this is definitely the best you can do. Now then, for the hair. So the hair that I went with is right at the top here, and it is called the flat top, and you're going to make that white. And you can see there, that already looks really cool. To me, that looks like Tombstone, so yeah, I really like that. Now then, once you've done that, you're going to go to body, and you're going to find Morbius's torso. Now, we're going to be using a few pieces from Morbius, because it's probably the best you can do to make his classic outfit. Of course, depending on what media you've watched Tombstone in, he's wore different outfits, but this is the classic comic book version of the character. You'll see in, like, Spectacular Spider-Man, he wore suits a lot and things like that, but that's not the look that we're going with. You could if you want to, but I just thought that was too simple, and I wanted to try and make the classic comic book version, kind of like what you see in the 90s animated series from Spider-Man. Right, so we need Morbius's torso. Now, where is that? That's got to be down here somewhere. Let's find it. There it is. See, I think that's probably the best. It's a shame it's got red on it, but, oh well. It's still definitely the best you can choose to match that classic comic book look. Now then, for both arms, again, you're going to use Morbius, because then it has, the black at the top and the white at the bottom, so it just kind of looks like he's sleeveless, basically. And that should be down here somewhere. I think I've passed it. Yep, I've passed it. Where is it? There it is. It was on the right-hand side. Nice, and then, of course, you want the hands to be white. Now, for the hips and the legs, I just made them the dark grey, which is, it's kind of black at the same time, but it's this one right here, so it's the top right-hand colour that you want. So you want that one right there for both the hips and the legs. I don't think the legs really need any detail there, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I think that looks like Tombstone, so I think it looks pretty cool. Now then, on to the abilities. So, obviously, Tombstone, he's always known for his strength. He's a super strong character, so that's what we're going to focus on. So, I think we won't have wall climbing or techno access. We won't have mind control magic. We'll put deflect on, crack Lego walls. We'll put, what else? Super strength, and I think that'll do for that. Then, for tap square, we're going to have fighting, of course. Just take that like that. And then for hold square, you see him, I think in Spectacular Spider-Man, I think he, charges towards enemies, and I suppose that is more of a speedster ability, but it just adds a little bit more to the character so you can actually run towards enemies and knock them out and stuff. So I think we'll have a targeted lunge. I think that makes sense. Then for tap circle, I think I just left that, and then the same for hold circle as well. Because again, this is a character that only has strength abilities. He's a very strong character. He can't shoot things out of his hands and beams and stuff like that. So it wouldn't make sense to add any of that. Right, now then, on to double tap X. So I'm just going to give him... Should we give him a double jump or not? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just give him... I think we should just give him nothing. So he just does a roll instead. Because I don't recall him actually ever, super jumping extremely high into the air or doing flips or anything like that. So I think we'll just stick to no double tap and no hyper jump. Cool. Right, now then, on to passive traits. So for the health icon, you're going to go with... let's go with this one. For the health type, he's a very strong character, and you want, that to kind of come across in gameplay. So I think it would be fair to give him vulnerability. Then for the voice, just choose any male voice, any of these three right here. I'm just going to go with voice 1. Movement speed, just make it default. And then for the target reticle, just choose whatever you want. I'm going to go with... I think I'll just go with this one. Yeah, that works quite nicely. All right, cool. So we've done the passive traits, the abilities, the appearance. We're not going to give him a weapon, although he is skilled in firearms. So if you wanted to, you could give him a gun which he could shoot. But I just thought there's no point because, you know, we're trying to make Tombstone as he is with his strength and everything. So we're going to leave weapons alone. Now we just need to name him and choose a background image. So I'll just quickly name him. I want to make sure it's in capitals. Tombstone. Yes, awesome. And then for the background image, I think we will go with this one right here. I think that's quite fitting. Alright, cool. Now, of course, what we're going to do is drop Tombstone into the Chronopolis HUB World and see just what he can do. And here he is. This is, of course, my custom-made Tombstone made in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. Let's just get a good look at him right here. Just going to wait till he stopped doing this moving animation. There we go. Nice. I think he looks pretty cool. You know, aside from the red detail on the torso and the back and everything, I think it's fairly accurate to what he looks like in the comics. So yeah, pretty cool. So what can he do? Well, of course, we gave him, you know, strength. He's a very strong character, so he can beat up this defenseless snowman if he wanted to, and he can also charge attack enemies as well. And like I said, you know, I didn't feel like giving him any hyper jumps or anything, so he just does this roll, which is pretty cool. So we'll attack all of these items right here. All these objects, I should say. Nice! Alright, cool. Now, of course, let's go fight some crime. Obviously, that's not something Tombstone is well known at doing, but it gives us, you know, a good excuse to actually show off his combat style and all that good stuff. And, of course, today I teamed him up with Hammerhead, because in Spectacular Spider-Man, you know, they always seem to be together, so I thought that would be fitting. And, you know, I didn't want to make the Spectacular Spider-Man version of the character. I mean, I tried, but it didn't come out as good as this one, in my opinion. And I just think using a suit just doesn't look as much like Tombstone to me, so I wanted to go with the classic version. But in saying that, the Spectacular Spider-Man version of Tombstone is my favorite interpretation of the character to date. I mean, Keith David absolutely knocked it out of the park with that version of Tombstone. He was awesome. I would actually love to see Tombstone in the movies at some point. I feel like he could be one of those characters that would work. You know, you've got Kingpin in the Netflix side of the MCU, and I'm always, you know, I always want that to happen. Tom Holland's Spider-Man to meet Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon, which is really annoying because we all want it to. You know, we all want Charlie Cox's Daredevil to team up with Tom Holland and take down Kingpin, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon, which is just, it's just annoying. It really is. So if they're not going to do that, I think they should try and introduce their own, you know, mob bosses and gangs and stuff. Because that's one of my favorite things about, you know, seeing Spider-Man in movies and cartoons and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it when we see Spider-Man facing off with supervillains like Vulture, Green Goblin, Venom, Carnage. That is all great stuff. But I also love it when we get to see him just fighting gangs. I just think it's awesome when we get to see stuff like that. So maybe in the future Spider-Man sequels, we could have Kingpin and Hammerhead and Tombstone, you know, lying in the background just waiting to pounce on Spidey, and I just think that'd be cool. I think all those characters would be great to see in the Spider-Man movies in future. If we can't have Kingpin, then I would at least like to see Tombstone and Hammerhead. I think Tombstone and Hammerhead would be great in the MCU.
The Cave of Dragons did have an actual dragon inside. Somebody owes me a blue stud.
I think what we'll do is we'll get a good vehicle here. Nope, that's the wrong button. That shows you, like, the, you know, the description for the character. It's a randomized, so it's not what I've written. It's just, it's a randomized thing. We'll go with this one right here. What color is it? Brown. Okay. Cool. I'd also think, you know, Tombstone could be a cool character to have in Spider-Man PS4, you know, Insomniac Games' Spider-Man game. I feel like he could be one of the villains. Because you've seen already, you know, some of the villains. We've got Mr. Negative, we got Kingpin, and I think Tombstone would fit that lineup really nicely. He's one of those characters. I mean, the reason I made Tombstone, the idea that I got to make Tombstone was because of the new DLC packs that are coming out for this game soon. You know, we're gonna get Silvermane and Mr. Negative, which are two underrated Spider-Man villains that I absolutely love. I mean, I would say Mr. Negative is less underrated now because of the Spider-Man PS4 game that's coming out, but Silvermane I've always really liked. I always thought he was a cool villain, probably because of like the 90s animated series. Wait, no, he was. I don't think he actually suit up in that. I think it was more because of Spectacular Spider-Man. But I've always known that villain. I've always known him. So that's why as soon as I saw him in those achievement pictures, I was like, oh my god, they're adding Silvermane. That is so cool. He's one of those underrated villains that I just love. So I thought, well, we've got them two. Why not try and make Tombstone? I mean, he'd be a great villain to have in this game. Because this game has so many Spider-Man villains, and it's just cool to try and add the ones that aren't in there. It's a shame there's no water powers, because I would have tried to make Hydro Man, but, I mean, I guess you could use ice, maybe. If people want me to make Hydro Man, and not bothered by the fact that it's ice, I might consider making that. That'd be kind of cool. Hopefully in like future character creators we get in these LEGO games, you know, we'll have an even bigger variety of powers to choose from. And that would be kind of cool. So, you know, we've got fire and electricity and stuff like that in this one. Maybe in the next one we could have water and maybe earth-like powers where you could shoot rocks out of your hands and stuff like that. That'd be interesting. You know, just really push it and give us so many abilities, as many as possible, really. I love seeing Tombstone picking up vehicles and stuff. It's just so cool. And I think the noir area really fits Tombstone. I'm not sure if he's actually in those comics, if he actually exists in that universe, but if they were ever to bring back the noir comics, he would fit this universe perfectly. He'd be a great antagonist.
Aw, shucks. What a thing to happen.
Alright, let's keep moving. But yeah, I mean, with the way the MCU is going next, I think they're, with Spider-Man at least, I think they're more going to be setting up the Sinister Six. I think that is the end goal, at least for the trilogy. Personally, I hope they make 6 Spider-Man movies. I think he's one of those characters you could do more than just a trilogy with, and it would still keep it fun and entertaining because of all the amazing characters in his rogues gallery. I mean, Spider-Man has some of the best villains. Well, in my opinion, he has the best villains. Him and Batman have the best villains in all of comic books. And I just, that's why you could make so many Spider-Man movies. You just have to keep it fresh and new and not feel like a rehash of any previous Spider-Man movie. And I think Homecoming did a really good job of that. It didn't feel like any of the Spider-Man movies that came before that. And I was personally happy about that because I didn't want the same Spider-Man movie again. I wanted to have something different. And they did that. And they did a good job, in my opinion. So I can't wait for the next one. But I think they're definitely setting up the Sinister Six at the moment. So I don't know if they'll have time to introduce Tombstone and stuff like that. But that would be really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Homecoming did set up Miles Morales. You know, Donald Glover. He played Miles's uncle. And of course, you know, he actually mentions Miles's name in one of the deleted scenes, which is kind of like an extended cut of that scene. So Miles Morales does exist in the MCU, and I was kind of thinking if they are going to do 6 Spider-Man movies, then they might do it in a way where there's 3 with Tom Holland, plus, you know, appearances in other Avengers and other kind of movies as well, and then the next 3 are going to be Miles Morales. I think they might do that, but personally, for Miles Morales to be done right and to feel special, and, you know, you have to do it when the time is right. You can't just rush into doing Miles Morales. It's one of those characters that you need to take the time with Peter. You need to allow the audience to get to know Peter, to love this interpretation of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and then, when you feel the time is right, when you kill him off, it has to mean something. Because people are sick of, you know, recasting Spider-Man every few years. You know, we had Tobey Maguire, who was great, Andrew Garfield was great, and Tom Holland, who was great. And people probably don't want Tom Holland to go anytime soon. They're enjoying his portrayal of the character. And if you were to just kill him off, just for the heck of it, just to introduce Miles, that wouldn't be fair. Now, I'm not saying I don't want Miles, because I do. I really, really do want to see Miles on the big screen someday, but I want to see it when the time is right. And I'm sure many people will agree with me there. Whoa, Hammerhead's taking out more bad guys than me. That's crazy.
Now that's what a real hero looks like.
The other way I could see them doing it is you could have Spider-Man 1 through 6, and that is all Tom Holland. And then maybe the next trilogy kicks off a Miles Morales. Yeah, maybe the next few movies like kick off a Miles Morales kind of thing. I could see like Spider-Man 6, it's like a face-off between Peter and the Green Goblin, and you know, both of them die or something. And then is Miles Morales. I feel like that might happen. But we'll see. That is obviously a very, very, very long time coming, so yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Anyone's looking to go up there and
I just love what Marvel's doing with Spider-Man at the moment. I mean, the fact that he has the Iron Spider suit in Infinity War is just exciting. You know, it's just cool to get all these things that we've never had in any of the Spider-Man movies before. That's one of the reasons I love the MCU Spider-Man so much, is because, you know, we've had... With Tobey Maguire's, we had, you know, a bunch of other different kind of suits. His suit evolved through the movies. And, of course, we got the symbiote, which I thought looked awesome. You know, I prefer the classic comic book for symbiote, but I still love the Spider-Man 3 one. I thought they did a great job on that. And then, of course, you know, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he had the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and not forgetting both Tobey and Andrew had their wrestler suits. And of course, Tom Holland's, he had a homemade suit as well. But already we're seeing some cool stuff from Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We've seen like spider traces, we've seen the spider signal, we've seen the web wings, and we're going to see the Iron Spider armor. I mean, I just can't wait to see where they take it next. With the Venom movie being a thing, I don't think we're going to see the symbiote, unfortunately. But I do hope we get cool, you know, costume swaps like that, like the Iron Spider, that makes sense. You know, don't do it just for the sake of selling toys. Do it if it makes sense with the story. And with Infinity War, you know, Spider-Man's going to need as much help as he can get. So I completely understand the reason to give him the Infinity War suit. To give him the Iron Spider suit.
Detected a crime pretty close to you. Hey, wouldn't it be great if this was the last crime ever? Nah, a girl can dream.
Has anyone seen the Queen?
I'm gonna pick this guy up. Ah! I'm Tombstone. I'm gonna beat him up. There we go. Nice. Ah! No! Can I attack him like this? Oh! One hit kill. Nice job, Tombstone. I think I'm stuck in the wall. Oh no, I'm fine. We're good. Oh, there's one more. Alright. You want me to pick you up? Okay. Right, let's see. Anywhere up there we can throw back? No, no. Okay, hang on.
All over by a celestial.
Stick with me, man. I'm just gonna throw you at something. No, no, come back! Come back! No! Okay, hey, let's try this. Tombstone and Hammerhead. What are they gonna do together? Oh, no! That's not that cool. Oh, well. Oh, take him out, Hammerhead. Why not? Let's let Hammerhead deal with this. That's pretty cool. Was Hammerhead in any of the other LEGO Marvel games? Because I don't think he was. I'm pretty sure this is the first LEGO Marvel game he's been in. And I love that he made it in, because he's an awesome character.
Pretty impressive. The way they dress and those accents.
I have so many fond memories of I think it was the first PS1 Spider-Man game. It was either the first one or Enter Electro. Those games, I played them to death, so I really don't remember which is which, because I just used to go backwards and forwards all the time, just play them both, because they were brilliant. But I think the first one was more symbiote, more to do with symbiotes. Or was it? Was it? Yeah, the first one was more to do with symbiotes, because Enter Electro, the final battle with that was Electro, so, yeah. But yeah, Hammerhead, I have really fond memories of taking him out in, I think it was the first Spider-Man PS1 game. That was just a cool mission. I think it was in like a penthouse or something, or a hotel. It was in a building somewhere, like just a normal building, and I think you had to take out his goons and stuff like that. It was cool.
Right, Kang's defenses are down.
With the Crash Bandicoot games being remastered, I always kind of wish that Activision would get permission to be able to remaster the old Spider-Man PS1 games. Because I feel like if they remastered those games, both 1 and Enter Electro, I honestly think that they would sell like hotcakes. I seriously believe that. If those games were remastered, and the graphics were redone, the physics were redone, everything was redone, it just looked amazing, it played amazing, but it still had that great feeling that you got from the original games on PS1 and Nintendo 64 and stuff like that, they would make so much money. But unfortunately, with Insomniac Games, you know, making that brilliant new Spider-Man PS4 game, I don't see anything like that happening anytime soon, which is unfortunate, but oh well. I'm just glad that, you know, PlayStation isn't, like, exclusive to that character, because I was thinking when that game was announced, I was worried that we wouldn't see Spider-Man in other Marvel games. But that's definitely not the case. I mean, you know, yes, it's a Spider-Man exclusive game on PlayStation 4, but, you know, we got Spider-Man in this game, a bunch of Spider-Man, plus we're going to get the Infinity War suit, I'm sure. And then, of course, you know, you got all the mobile games, So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think they're allowed to remaster games that have already been released. But then again, Marvel Alliance, they did that, so who knows? I don't think it's in very high demand. I think Activision doesn't believe it's in very high demand, a remaster of all those games. They probably don't realize how popular they were, I guess. But maybe someone should let them know. Let them know that it is popular. Because people, I think, honestly, if it was announced at E3 or something, I think they'd blow the roof off the place. I'd be hyped. I'd be incredibly hyped. I mean, those games are still fun to play now, the Spider-Man PS1 games. I think they've really held up well. So playing them with new graphics and new physics and everything would be so cool. And they could even add content to it if they wanted to. Like, I know if Crash Bandicoot, they added another character to that game for fun. As like, you know, you could play the whole, I think you could play all three of them with that character. And it would be cool if they did that with like a Spider-Man PS1 remaster. So maybe you could, I don't know, unlock costumes, new costumes from the comics. So you have all the old costumes from the old games, but then they throw in some new ones. So maybe you could wear Tom Holland's costumes. Maybe you could wear like, you know, anti-Agent Venom or something. Agent Anti-Venom, or however you would say it. Like, there's so many things they could do. I think that'd be really cool. I know there's a lot of people that have also been asking for remasters of like Spider-Man 2 on PS2, you know, based on the movie and things. That too would be amazing, but hopefully we won't need that once Spider-Man PS4 comes out. I kind of hope with that game they do some, you know, like a big homage to other previous Spider-Man games that have come before it. That'd be kind of cool. Even if it's just something as simple as like, I don't know, maybe a mission with Mysterio, and the graphics go all weird, and it plays similar to the PS1 games. That'd be kind of cool. He was in the PS1 games, and there was a mission where he went really tall, and that was pretty cool. Oh, sorry, chicken. My bad. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm just going to take out these bad guys and we'll head back to Avengers Mansion. But I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. You know, Tombstone is one of those characters, because I get a lot of comments from people asking for certain characters to be made in this game. Star Wars characters, DC characters, of course Marvel characters, symbiotes, all that kind of stuff. And, wow, Hammerhead did it all for me. Thanks, Hammerhead.
Saved my life!
And Tombstone wasn't a character that was requested, it was just one I wanted to show, because I love the character. So I hope you guys, you know, think I've done a good job on recreating this character. And, you know, I hope you enjoy playing as him if you actually followed this tutorial and made him in the game. I'm always curious if people actually do that when they watch these videos, if they just watch them because they enjoy them. If so, thank you very much, I really appreciate it. Or if they also watch the tutorial and actually make them in the game and play as those characters that I've made.
The machine has...
I mean, this is another Spider-Man villain for you to mess around with, and there's tons of them already, so that's pretty cool. It's a bit harder to get back to Manhattan so quickly, because we don't have speedster abilities, we can't web swing, we can't fly, we can't super jump, so yeah. But I'm almost there. Ha! That was a good joke. Whoa, don't land on that. We'll just go all the way back to the top. I said don't do that! Oh well. Hi, Tombstone. I actually was kind of bothered by the fact that, you know, you can see all the wrinkles and things because of Vulture's face, but it actually looks really good. It doesn't bother me anymore. Still looks like Tombstone to me. Alright, come on, we're almost here. Almost back to Avengers Mansion. And here we are. Cool. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.